This is Tim Bryce with my column titled, How Do the Democrats Manage? As a longtime management consultant who has worked with a wide range of companies around the world, I've been considering how well Democrats manage at the municipal, county, state, and congressional levels. Aside from giving away benefits in order to buy votes, they've not impressed me. I therefore beg the question, what do the Democrats do for you? Well, first, as mayors and city-town councils, Democrats command the lion's share of urban areas across the United States. One of the more controversial subjects they embrace is sanctuary cities, which is intended to provide a safety zone for illegal immigrants from prosecution. They even go so far as to not cooperate with federal officials concerned with capturing illegals and returning them to their country of origin. Democrats claim they want to provide a safety zone for such people so they can enjoy the social, medical, and educational benefits of America, thereby grooming them for future voters. To this end, policies have been introduced to prevent local police and other city workers from asking about a person's immigration status. Today, cities run by the Democrats foster a culture conducive to protest, rioting, and vandalism. Such turmoil puts the safety of citizens in jeopardy as well as local businesses. One side effect from such a culture is the rise of gun violence in inner cities, the likes of which we haven't seen before. Quite frankly, there couldn't be a better time for being a criminal. All of this implies Democrats are anti-safety, anti-business, and anti-law and order, which I translate into un-American. Second, as county officials, Democrats are trying desperately to introduce the concept of regionalism, which, in a nutshell, looks to create metropolitan governments spanning multiple counties. For example, in the Tampa Bay area, it is concerned with combining Hillsborough County with Pinellas, and possibly more, such as Manatee, Pasco, and Sarasota. In California, the Bay Area region could involve San Francisco, Oakland, and Sonoma County. In western New York, it might mean combining Buffalo, Niagara Falls, and Jamestown. In southwest Ohio, it will include Cincinnati, northern Kentucky, and southeast Indiana. This is a concept that has been tested in Europe, such as in the Basque area between Spain and France. By creating such regions, they are creating another layer of government bureaucracy and taxes. Translation, more big government that will usurp the power of municipalities and counties. Under this scenario, the ideal progressive power structure would appear as global, federal, state, region, county, and municipal. Whereas globalization represents a threat to the authority of federal and state governments, regionalism will do likewise to counties and municipalities. The real intent is to increase political power by reshaping the structure of government. Basically, it negates the need for legal and long-standing geographical boundaries, even going so far as to cross state lines. And third, as governors, Democrats do not have a stellar record for managing their states. To illustrate, for many years, the Mercatus Center at George Mason University reported the financial stability of the 50 states, plus Puerto Rico and Guam. The report considered debt and financial obligations, as well as state pension programs and health care benefits. The last report was in 2018. At that time, the top 10 best-run states were predominantly Republican. Number 1 was Nebraska, which is Republican. Number 2, South Dakota, Republican. Number 3, Tennessee, Republican. Number 4, Florida, Republican. Number 5, Oklahoma, Republican. Number 6, Wyoming, Republican. Number 7, Idaho, Republican. Number 8, Utah, Republican. Number 9, North Carolina, which has a Democrat governor but a Republican assembly. And number 10, Nevada, which is Democrat. The bottom 10 states were predominantly Democrat. Number 41, New York, which is Democrat. Number 42, California, Democrat. Number 43, West Virginia, Democrat. Number 44, Delaware, Democrat. Number 45, New Mexico, Democrat. Number 46, Kentucky, which has a Democrat governor but a Republican assembly. Number 47, Massachusetts, Democrat. Number 48, New Jersey, Democrat. 49, Connecticut, Democrat. And number 50, Illinois, Democrat. It appears financial success in state governments is not by accident, but by responsible economic policies. Not surprising, the bottom 10 have higher taxes, which is ultimately causing people and businesses to flee their states as economic refugees. All of this demonstrates the incompetence of Democrat governors as managers. And number 4, Congress. Not surprising, Congress is gridlocked. House Democrats spurn the label of do nothing as they point to the legislation they have passed, all of which they knew wouldn't pass the Senate chamber. This implies their bills were designed more for political purposes than anything else. This leaves them plenty of time to root on their Democrat constituents back home. It has now become obvious that Democrats at the municipal level are getting their marching orders from their congressional leaders. I personally find it amusing to see Democrats try to deceive the American public. To illustrate, following a recent night of violence in Portland, where local authorities declared it a riot, Representative Jerry Nadler of New York's 10th Congressional District told a reporter the violence is a, quote, myth that's being spread only in Washington, D.C., end of quote. How he says this with a straight face is beyond me. So as managers, Democrats do not rate very well. Instead of taking steps to correct the violence and destruction, they would rather put the welfare of their citizens and businesses in jeopardy, all for political purposes. They also spurn the rule of law, all for political purposes as well. As a result, they are driving people and businesses away who no longer want to experience their madness. This is the Democrat Party of 2020. No wonder their symbol is the jackass. Friends, keep the faith. This is Tim Bryce in Palm Harbor, Florida. Follow me on the internet at timbryce.com.